Today on PBPN, cuffing season. What president says, I need you here for the next 2 months, but we'll see about Valentine's Day. What's going on, world? I am Winston A. Marshall, and this is Positive Black People News, the show that's changing the narrative. Also, dope-ass beanie day. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If this is your first time here, please go down and hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit that little bell. That way you know every time we put up a dope video, and trust me, we gonna put up plenty of dope videos. And if you're returning, I wanna talk about my favorite athlete right now. Every year, little boys and girls across the country gear up for some Little League football, or as I call it, the beginning of the weeding out process. Any kid whose parents sign them up and pay for the iron-on numbered jersey gets to play Little League. But the older kids get, the less and less people make the team, and it's only a special select few who make it into the NFL, especially as a quarterback. And Colin Kaepernick was one of those special few. As I'm sure many of you know, Kaepernick used to play for the San Francisco 49ers. He hasn't been able to sign with a new team since he started the national anthem protest of police brutality, specifically against black people. I'm sorry, it still baffles me that someone kneeling in silence pissed that many people off. I've been wishing that my upstairs neighbor would pull a Kaepernick for the past year and a half. You know how many parents wish their kids would protest their dislike of broccoli with kneeling silently? It can't get more peaceful. The man was the 2016-2017 Afro-haired version of a Buddhist monk taking a vow of silence to protest violence. But I digress. Kaepernick managed to keep his head up despite being blackballed by the NFL. He put on his activist hat even more fully and donated his time and his money to a plethora of nonprofit organizations. He even trains every day, so he's game ready if and when he gets hired by a team. For all of this and more, GQ has crowned him the Citizen of the Year for 2017. Do you see this cover? It is black as hell. It's black, y'all, and it's black, y'all, and it's blackity black, and it's black, y'all.
I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back.
The fro, the turtleneck, the gold chain, I can't take it. Colin, you are the man and a true citizen of this country. Stay strong, my brother.
53% of black adults play video games, and almost half of all video game players are women. Latino people and black folks play and purchase video games more than any other ethnic group in the US. Yet the overwhelming majority of characters in games look like freshman pledges for Sigma Alpha Epsilon. Which is why it's so amazing that finally, one of the most popular series of video games in the world has created a black female character with curly hair. The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs just came out this November, and players can now choose hairstyles with curl patterns that look like their own. So far, the options are either curls or a fro, but maybe the next version will have afro puffs, box braids, and bantu knots. And also, I feel like The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs is a random title for a game that gives black women the option to choose different hair. I feel like it should have been called The Sims 4 Salon Chairs and Protective Styles. Not to make assumptions, but it's clear a bunch of white people developed this game. Not because it's racist, but just because if a black woman had designed it, these options would have been available a long time ago, and the daily tasks would have been expanded by the sequel. There would have been a Sally beauty supply, a Korean lady on the corner selling bundles, 10 hours would pass in the beauty shop sequence, and budgeting to get your hair did would be a whole new minigame in and of itself. I played a lot of Sims in college instead of going out to parties.
Nerd.
Anyways, when you're kind of a loner, it's that much more important for you to see avatars that actually look like you. There's been a huge push recently for diversity in gaming because even though statistically, most people who play video games are black and Latino, most people who design video games are white dudes. And last I checked, white men know about as much about black hair as I know about hockey. Not a goddamn thing. The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs is available now, so go on and get you some 3C through 4D pattern curls.
This next piece of news is just super heartwarming. A homeless man found a check for $10,000 and he returned it to its rightful owner. $10,000? I don't know about y'all, but I would have needed a minute to just sit on that course of action. Like, think real long and hard about what you could do with 10 G's. Guess what I did today?
What?
I bought 10 iPhone 10s.
Why?
Well, I wanted to see if they could recognize each other with a face recognition.
Why would you need 10 for that?
Because not all iPhones look alike, Jason. God, you're such a xenophobist.
Zeno? Oh.
My bad. Anyway, Elmer Alvarez, being the upstanding man that he is, didn't even blink. He tracked down the owner of the check and returned it to her. And in turn, she not only wrote him a check, but is helping him get an education and an apartment of his own. Man, people can be really awesome sometimes. Imagine if we were all this kind to one another.
Hey, Amar.
Huh?
I found this iPhone 10. I think it's yours.
Oh, it is mine. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, no worries, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, just saw it and, wished I had a phone. I think that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, no. I thought it was pretty rough.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks again.
Hello? Yeah, no, just brush it off. It's fine.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Glad you enjoyed yourself. I hope you enjoyed yourself. If you didn't, don't tell me. Just keep it to yourself. I'm just playing. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. We talked a little bit about the national anthem protest today. We're actually gonna get more in depth about that. We're gonna do another Run That Back segment specifically about the protest. So please be sure to come back in a couple weeks. We're gonna take a hiatus because of Thanksgiving, but we will be back. Y'all have a wonderful holiday and we'll see you soon.